Visa for freelancer to Germany. Freelancer, what is that about? Yes, you can get a visa as a freelancer to Germany. What does that entails? Find out in this video. Sit back and watch till the very end. Hello everyone. My name is Femi Julo Daniel and welcome back to this particular episode. And if you're here for the first time, you know how we do it. Hit that red subscribe button down below. Yeah, that button staring at you. It doesn't cost you anything, just a click, because we need that to build this community. And hit the like button. Also, do not forget the notification bell so that whenever I upload a video, you will be the first to be notified. Thank you as you do that. And to all my lovely, ever supportive subscribers, I cannot thank you enough. I love you guys. Thank you, because you are the one keeping me here. Without much ado, this is a continuation of my last video whereby I talked of freelance visa as a freelancer. And in my last video, I defined what freelancer is, and I remember I also talked about what are the professions that qualify as a freelancer. And if you have not watched that video and you are here, please do not miss some vital information. Go back to the playlist and watch that particular video and you'll be glad for it. So today, without much beating around the bush, I will go straight to the slide, but I need to minimize this first. Let's go straight to the slides. Today I will be talking about, briefly, I will be talking about the difference between freelancer and trade persons or self-employed person in Germany, foreigners that qualify to work as freelancers in Germany, Germany visa for freelancers, who need a Germany freelancer visa, the requirements of, and Germany freelancer visa fee. Then I will also take you to the application form. So what are the differences between a freelancer and a self-employed person or a trade person? Those wishing to work as freelancers in Germany should make sure that their work not instead fall under the self-employed or trade category. Sometimes there is a little thin line between self-employment and freelancing. While both indicate that you are not an employee of anyone, but rather you are the sole decision maker of your services you provide, there are still quite some differences between them. The main difference is that while freelancers work in their name, self-employed person conduct business under a brand name. In addition, while some professions may categorize as freelancing, even if you are not listed as liberal professions, in terms of compulsory legal procedures, the difference is that while freelancers do not need to register with the Business Registration Authority in Germany, that is, the agency is called Gewerbeamt, those categorized as self-employed cannot operate without registering there. As a conclusion, freelancers are also required to pay less taxes than self-employed or trade persons, as explained below in this article. So we can say this is one of the advantages of being a freelancer or you are self-employed. We have people here that are self-employed, but the difference is that if you work in Germany as a freelancer, you pay lesser tax than somebody that is self-employed, because somebody that's self-employed is working under a name. First of all, you have to register your business name and the other things follows. So, but as a freelancer, you are working in your own name, and I've listed those professions. Please, if you have not checked the previous video, please do, so that you can know what professions falls under freelancer or freelancing. Foreigners that qualify to work as freelancers in Germany, or foreigners that meet the legal requirements can work in Germany as freelancers. Though most of the world's citizens will need a visa to do so, that is, if you stay outside European Union. The main criteria for a person to move to Germany and work as a freelancer are: the profession a person wants to exercise as a freelancer in Germany must be listed as a liberal profession, or at least be a similar one that the German tax office may consider to be okay for freelancing. There must be an economic interest or a regional need for the type of work the freelancer intends to do in Germany. And the last one, the freelancer must have the capacity to support himself or herself while in Germany. I highlighted that in green because it is very important if you want your visa to be granted. Germany visa for freelancers. Passport holders of the European Union, Norway, Switzerland, Iceland, and Liechtenstein do not need any visa or resident permit to move to Germany to work as freelancers. They will, however, need to register with the foreigners office nearest their place of stay in Germany and follow the other legal requirements as getting an identification number. That identification number is very important if you want to do any kind of work here in Germany. In order for the working to be legal, if you do not have an identification number, you cannot, whatever work you are doing is not legal. So I do a work, I have an identification number. Every child born here is given that number so far the child is registered. So that number is important. Anything you do outside that is illegal. On the other hand, nationals of Australia, Canada, Israel, Japan, New Zealand, United States of America, and South Korea can also move to Germany without any visa, but they will need to get a resident permit upon arrival. They will also need to register with the foreigners office nearest to their place of stay in Germany and follow the other legal requirements as getting an identification number in order for their work to be legal. So this is talking to another set of people from other part of the world. As for nationals of other world countries, they will need to get a German freelance visa first. That is, if you stay outside this country that I've just read, you need to get a visa to work as a freelancer. How you can find a full and detailed guide on the steps of application, criteria, and requirements one needs to meet in order to get a freelance visa for Germany. Who needs a Germany freelancer visa? You will need to get a Germany freelance visa beforehand if you are a visit regime foreigner. Most of us in Africa fall under this category. If you are an African and you live in Africa or you have an African passport, you need to get this visa before you can work as a freelancer. My work is to give you the information and guide you. And basically there is no big deal about this thing, because do not be too eager to say you want to come, you want to travel without adequate plan, without getting the right information. And basically what your agent does is to find out what the informations are, what are the requirements, and it will get to you, put those requirements together, those documents together, and file it on your behalf. That is the service your agent is rendering. And if you are willing to just go through the tedious work, even if you don't know anything about computer, just get somebody that knows about it. The information is there online. Google is a good material. Find out this information and put in your application. You can do it all by yourself, or find somebody or a relative that you know is good in computer and help you put this thing together. There is no really big deal about it, but most people are just lazy to do this, and they're ready to just throw away money for something that they are not even ready to go through whatever documents is being processed on their behalf. And by the time they go for the visa, they can't even answer some questions, and at the end of the day you end up losing money and not getting the visa. So that could be quite painful. You need to get a German freelance visa beforehand if you are a visa regime foreigner whose intention of coming to Germany to work within a liberal profession. A freelance visa is typically granted for 3 months. It can be converted into resident permits while your visa is valid. The address where you apply for the resident permit is the local foreigners authority called Ausländerbehörde or Ausländeramt. The resident permits for freelancing can be extended for up to 3 complete years. To receive such an extension, you must have previously succeeded in your freelance business. This means that you should have evidence of generating sufficient profit to cover living costs for yourself and of your dependent family members. After a 3 years spent with a resident permit for freelancing, you may get a settlement permit. This can happen only if you decide setting up a retail or manual trade business since then. The resident permits for freelancers can also be converted into a resident permit for self-employment according to the Resident Act Section 21 subsection 6. This may happen only if you can get this permit to pursue the intended self-employment activity. Now, let me quickly go through the requirements. These are quite lengthy, but I've tried to streamline it to what you need. Here are the documents to apply for a German freelance visa. Number 1, duly completed national visa application form. I will show you that form after this particular presentation, what it looks like. It is nothing hard. It is something you can do by yourself. You also need a valid national passport, 2 recently made biometric photographs. The measurements are there, so you don't bring a passport that is not acceptable. Payment of the visa application fee, travel insurance, recommendation letter from previous employers, curriculum vitae, your CV, cover letter, portfolio of your previous work if you have worked somewhere before, several printed samples of your previous freelance work, please take note of that, or regular work in the same profession. Let me highlight this place. Professional authorization. You need to show a license or other authorization to show evidence of your expertise and relevance to pursue the intended profession. This is needed if you're planning to exercise a profession that requires prior expertise in the field, e.g., medicine, law, and similar professions. Certificates of earlier education that will be needed. Means of subsistence. That is evidence showing that you have enough money to cover your living and freelancing cost. This can be one of the following. You have to show your latest bank statements from your home country. Then also blocked bank account. One of the easiest and the fastest way to open a German blocked account is through Fintiba or Sutor Bank. The blocked account provided by Fintiba is accepted by German embassies or consulates all around the world. This account is called blocked account because you open it while you are in your home country and you do not have access to that fund until you are here in Germany. So they don't want a situation where you open, the account is blocked so that you don't open that account, then you now decide to say, oh, something came up and you withdraw part of the money. So if you're really serious about this, then they expect you to have a kind of commitment towards it. Profit and loss statement. It has to show your forecast about monthly profits and losses from the intended freelance activity. The next one, proof of adequate pension plan. Only if you are older than 45. That's when this will be required to provide a proof of adequate pension plan. But if you are under 45, then you do not need to provide any pension plan. The next one, evidence of a freelance plan. And the last one, letters of commitment from future customers or employers. Send at least 2 of them. These letters must clearly show their intent to employ you when you come here. Now, talk about the fee before I take you to the what the application form looks like. Germany freelancer visa fee. The fee to apply for a freelance visa is 60 euros. For a resident permit is 140 euros, the most. That's the most you can pay. While for a settlement permit is up to 260 euros. Let me so this is an overview of the form. Section 1, they said staff detail, that is your detail. If you are applying, the page looks like this. First section, you are going to have your details, contact data. The third section is going to require some of the documents. The fourth section asks about your travel data. Then the last section, assumption of cost. So this is what it looks like. You will fill your name. My name is Daniel. I will just show you Femi Julo, for instance. If there's a name at birth and it's different from the name you are bearing, your surname, you put it there. Date of birth, 12th December 1999, as the case may be. Your place of birth, you put it there. Country of birth, you click this drop down, look for your country. Take for instance, I come from Nigeria. I put my country there. Your sex, marital status. Then you go down, occupation. You click this button, occupation. Are you a banker, artisan? List of jobs are there that fall under that category. So you look for the one, what your job or your profession is here. Contact data, applicant address, you put your address here in all these boxes. Then the third part, you can see everything up here is on a page. So you will go from one step to the other. You have to complete a step before the other section. And all these particular boxes that have asterisks highlighted here are compulsory. You have to fill it, otherwise you will not be able to proceed to the next level. Your contact data, you fill all your addresses. Documents, it will ask you identification paper and travel documents. Fill in the data. Biometric data, have your fingerprint been collected previously for the purpose of applying for a Schengen visa? So if you have ever traveled before, you say yes. If not, you say you don't click anything. Travel data, when you fill it, you save it and continue. So I'm just showing you what that looks like. So on a final note, I do not intend to make this video too long, but I believe you have been able to get one or two things from this particular video. If you intend to work as a freelancer in Germany, the honest truth is, if you meet all the requirements, you will definitely get what you are looking for. But what we see in most cases is that people do not want to do any background check or even go through any form of stress, and it doesn't come that easy. To be very honest, you have to make that sacrifice to do your own background check before you apply and see if it is something you want. Then go for it. Once you meet the requirement, you'll be granted the visa. So thank you for your time, and before you go, I want you to please click the subscribe button if you have not, and also like the video if you enjoyed the content today, and also don't forget to share with friends and family. This might be important for somebody somewhere. Thank you all for your time. Like I used to say, please stay safe, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.